Okay, ready to roll. All right, this is going to be a playbook play for this particular trade. So the first video in this playbook play was this 125. This is the same trade strategy called what I've dubbed the resistance flip. Same day. This one's a little different. This one was for the FOMC meeting. So the market's going to be thinned out on it. So we're going to go over it. The trade starts at 102. So this is further development of the playbook. So what I'm going to do time in, and I need this so I can reference, because I'm saving the actual trades so that way I can reference them in my library of videos. Also, links will be added. Still working on the first trade as far as adding charts. And once I figure this out, this whole playbook will become more streamlined. So this trade I got in at 103. So actually, we'll use military time. 13:02. I think with this, we're going to make a checklist. So news, no. This is the first one. Again, this is the first trade in the first video. This particular one, news. Oh, I don't want it to be bold. We can fix that later. News. Yes, which is the, I'll go back here again. FOMC announcement meeting. Wouldn't like that not to be a link. Fuck. Oh, that's interesting how that works. Remove link. There you. Oh. Controls. Sorry, I'm learning how to use this at the same time. So FOMC meeting announcement. It says solid resistance breakout here. News. Because I want to make these look the same, so that this kind of bothers me right here. We'll go ahead and Control C. Control V. News, no. Okay, there we go. We're making it look the same. So volume. So we need to put thickness on here. Normal. And that's the bid ask. How thick is it? Thickness on this particular trade is thin. So we'll copy what we have here. I'm trying to think of this profile alignment. This particular size came in at the VWAP at 137. We do need to look at a chart. So I do need to pull up a chart on this. So this particular, if we go back to the DOM, this is where the trade takes a place at 137 even. So let's go ahead and look at 137 even on the 11th. Unfortunately, the profile is developed. Symbol needs rollover. Click to rollover. We're not going to do that right now. I don't want to roll over at the moment because we are in rollover. $137 even. So right here. Let's see how it aligns. What was that other trade entry on? 137? Give me a moment. I don't have the price entry on this old video, which I think we're going to have to see. This is what you learn from doing the second playbook. So if we look at the chart, and unfortunately I have I'm trying, because we have to do the chart, so I'm thinking. So unfortunately this video is going to be pretty raw, and you have to really bear with me. Profile alignment from, I'm trying to figure out what I did here. Profile alignment from previous day. So we'll go ahead and just copy the parameters from here and add it to the new one, and we'll just change things. We need to get to velocity, but profile inside, it is still inside the previous day. This is alignment. So we'll put profile size, because these are all size trades. All these trades are taking place off size. And it's probably good to figure out how long the size has been there. So what I'll do is profile size alignment from previous days. Okay, this makes sense to me. Profile inside previous day. Okay, that makes sense. The profile, I know it's poking up here. but it is inside the previous day. And this happened, it coming up here happened a little bit later, and part of that had to do with the overnight, but for the most part it is inside. So velocity and volume, we gotta get back to that. So I may, as I analyze this shit, obviously looking at the profile will be the first thing. So this thickness, volume, and velocity, I'm gonna move down eventually, because I need to streamline it to where I'm not bouncing between watching the video and looking at a chart. We look at chart first, so we have to do a top-down approach. But this is how you make a playbook from scratch, basically. So I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying, and then eventually it'll start to get streamlined over time. So if we look at 137 even, this is where the trade takes place. So fourth day from current, it is on a high node. Yep. Third day from current, size aligns with a high node. Not really. It's on an HVE. Size aligns with, we'll put HVE. And I think what I'll do is I'll abbreviate, start abbreviating everything. So we'll have high node abbreviated. Okay. So the second day, which if we look, and this is where see high node right here. This is my high volume edge for the third day. The second day is on the VPOC. So we'll go ahead, size aligns. Size aligns with VPOC. VPOC for me is going to be the major point of control. I'm going to have other point of controls, but this is, when I say VPOC from this point forward, that is this purple, the biggest node. So eventually this is going to turn into a checklist, which I'm going to study over time to see if, because these are my playbook trade, I'm going to study over time to see before the next trade that looks like one of these types of trades, is there any common factors I need to go through a checklist. So the current day, size aligns with HV. This is the previous trade. Size, so current day. The current day, if we look at it, unfortunately, it's hard to judge. We can't look at this because this is historical data at this point. So it could have got filled in, but if we actually look at it before the play happens, which we have to. So if you're confused, this this is the day we're looking at, but over time we can't factor in the day, since this area could have been traded again after the entry, so therefore the profile is modified. So we have to look at it in real time before the trade, or my recorded session. So this is right before the trade. What does the profile look like now? Jesus, which is above a high node. So, yeah. Okay. The VPOC location is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ticks. 6 ticks. Six ticks below size. I also need to put if I go long or short on these. Well, actually, these are the resistance flips, so they're all going to be longs. I'll have the same setup for a support flip is what I'm going to call it when you do the same thing but short it. So these are all straight up long trades. Notes. VBOC has moved up since opening from size, held it down, embedded for a minute. I'm just reading. It's pulling half before hitting. Okay. Let's go ahead and cut. So we're going to have to start developing notes as we watch this. So I'll go ahead and start writing notes here. I'm not going to keep cutting. So there is 211 on the ask at 137 even, 3137 even, which is where the size is 37 even, which, okay, it looks like the size has been sitting there for some time, so I don't know how long. I need to start getting this information. Has been sitting for a while. We need to know that. We need to know how long that size has been there. Obviously, there's a white long bar. What else can we say about this? Market is very thin. Market. Let's watch the volume. Give me just a moment. I'm going to edit. Control C. News. So okay. Just editing here, so I do need a moment, because we need to measure our certain parameters, which Control C. If you want to just put this on so you can watch what I'm doing. So I'm moving this shit down here. Okay, thickness, thin. If you look at the first trade, it's normal. Volume. What is the volume? Let's watch it. It is a news release, so This does take a minute to go. Volume high, velocity high. I would say volume's more of a medium plus, so we'll stick with that. Velocity is going to be high when coming. Yeah, we'll just put high because this is parameters right before the trade. So the velocity, what that is this, it just pushed very hard. There it is. Okay, that's fascinating. Because I'm about to make the entry. It's being capped. I call this a cap when you hit the size, but size comes above it. It's like a baseball hat or something. So the entry is at, actually the entry is right the fuck on the cap, isn't it? This is from 2 days ago. I'm reviewing this 2 days later. So I'm trying to remember. I'm glad I didn't go for it. There you go. It's being supported. That's your flip right there. But the problem is there's size over here too, where the cap is. Interesting. That's very interesting to see that. How much does it go against me? We'll find out in the stats. Well, doesn't quite really go against me. About 2 ticks. It's going against me so far. My exit is right in here on the low node. Actually, I mean, this is so thin, I forget this is FOMC, so looks like it's thickening up. There it goes. What just happened? Oh, I'm calling out the exit. So there might be a bit of feedback here. I'm calling out where I get out. Let me hear where that call out is. Because I'm calling out my... Okay, 36.75 is my exit if this stops working out. So this high node. What I'm doing is I'm running the mic during the trading sessions and I call out my exits. I'm starting to call out risk from this point forward. So let's go ahead and watch the entry again. Because I need to start taking notes on this. Okay. So I need to know, let's fucking talk about this. Let's see the size on the VWAP. It's actually getting hit. So the size actually is getting hit, but it was only a 167 came in. But there was two. There's only about 211. So it's natural for some of that to pull off when it gets hit. That wasn't much size either. Okay, so so price, what the fuck? Price hits 137 even with good velocity. What else can I say? 13137.25, which is the next price up. Absorbs and adds size, which will be 216 on the ask. On the ask. Size 216 is added to the ask. And price falls in. It falls. Let's see where it falls into. to the ask. I'm changing that and creates a cap. Okay, so we'll do that. Velocity's pretty slow. So the strength meter's in my favor. We can do that. Strength meter against entry in favor of entry. And the strength meter is like, shit, 55. What I mean by 55 is like the center line is the 50. So it's about 55. If I was to put a number there, I think, I don't fucking know. This is 75, so this has got to be 60. So more like 52. 52. Stochastics down here. The 1 minute is over 70 at 80, attempting 80 crossing. So it's at the 80 and upward position. So if we look at the stochastic, it's upwards at the 80, or 90, I should say. The 3 is about the 80. It is at 80. And it's still in a perfect V, actually. So there's a common thing between the two trades. So if you look at it, it's got that V shape, which I like. There's no like intermingling like back here where it gets real choppy. Or like on the 1 minute right here where it crosses. The 5 is at the 80-ish in a V, which never crossed the a perfect V. However, it never crossed, what is that, the fucking 30? The 30 on rollover. Okay. So never crossed the 30 down here if you look. Like this one went into an oversold area where this one didn't. The risk, I announced it. I mean, it did go against me, but really the risk is going to be 2. Where's my entry at? Let's see where the entry is. So I'm going to make some notes, more notes here. Lots of chopping in a 3-tick type range on what is it, 130, 3137 even after brief breakthrough. size eventually comes up on bid at 3136.75. You can see there's 259 sitting there. With 259 bid. Which props market up. Is it fake? No, it's real. See, it's real. It's getting hit. $3136.75 gets hit, and the size doesn't pull, meaning nothing cancels off. So when this is getting hit, this is firm. There's still a cap. A cap of 210 is sitting at 210 ask is sitting at, what price is that? 313.725. So there's still a cap here. We got, it's a pinch, man. Creating a pinch zone on it's a one tick pinch zone. So we're going to start calling pinch zones PZ. This is a pinch. So let's see how it's, you got the size on both. Okay, so we have 212 steps up. 212 steps up into the pinch zone. 212 bid steps up into the pinch zone at what price is at? 3137 even, creating a dual layer of big bids. No, how do you spell dual? I don't know how to spell. Okay. So I'm kind of writing a play-by-play right here. This is what it's going to be called. Play-by-play notes. So we're going to change this to play-by-play notes. Yeah, see, if you look at the old shit, it's a play-by-play as well. So go ahead and Control C. I'm going to bold this so that way we know. So now we have a, see, I'm developing the book. Up here where the profile is, we're gonna bold this as well. This is gonna be profile. Setup. We'll copy that. So that way we can, the bold helps, you know. News, this will definitely be, this is a catalyst, so we need to know. Sorry guys, I'm just, you know, this is because you're going to want to create something just like this. So we do have size on resistance before breakout. This is very tough. Like, I'm thinking real hard here. Okay, let's watch this for the entry. Okay, so I immediately mark it in. On that size. Okay. So the 212 gets filled. So what I'm going to do, I think, in notes is I'm not going to necessarily talk about my entry per se. Yeah, entry attempted. So the entry was attempted at 3137.25. So entry. So this kind of reminds me of the older videos I've done when I was trading treasuries. I had a spreadsheet. Actually, I think this is it. Never mind. I thought that was it. There it is. Yeah, yeah. I have videos. This is what I used to do, actually. With the video links and everything. See, there's my notes. So basically, I'm doing what I've done in the past. Didn't realize I made a playbook in the past. Anyways, let's continue. So I tried to get in, attempted a limit fill at 3137.25. 3137 with a market order. Attempted a market order at 3137.25, hitting into the size. To the large size. Three, 1, 3, 7, even. Gets cleared out. So what I'm going to do, give me just a second. Attempted a market order at 3137, hitting into the large size. 3-1 there and gets cleared out. 3136.75. Bid pumps up to 325. So this is bid gets cleared out. Okay, so let's go back to this. So what I'm going to do is these notes are what's happening before my entry. So what I'll do is I'll move this crap down. Size on resistant before breakout. This kind of doesn't apply in the sense that all this is in the notes, so we don't need this. Well, we do, because this is the entry, so I don't know. We got the stochastic set up. Okay, let's cut back. Look at the tape. The tape's pretty blue. So that's nice. I want to see that tape go blue, though. It's already in there. Blue. And the tape looks good, though. The tape is really confirming stalling. So we'll go ahead and write. So we're going to continue our notes after entry. Stalling on entry. So we have stalling on entry. We still have this size. Tape is mostly blue. Nice. And this is it. So you're hearing feedback. That's me calling out my exit. So that was a live commentary. I got fucking whacked. So that's that for that. We'll watch the rest of it, but we're going to have to write what the tape is. So, like, this doesn't really apply because I have all the notes. Because this thing stalled and there's a little game played, unlike the other one. Thickness thin, volume medium plus, velocity high, strength meter. Tape, mostly blue. So let's go ahead and rewind. Because I do want to watch the tape at this point. Let's watch the tape. So yeah, that 49. I know it's hard to see up there. Really, you're looking for the color in the tape. Go for it right there. A lot of blue came in. You got a block of red, block of blue, lots of blue, 3 blues, 20, 20, 50 on the tape, followed by that 100, another 50, 2 reds, a block, and a 70 in blue. That's good. Red, about 68 in red. 55 blue, another 70, right? No, 45 blue, 65 blue is in. Another blue of 43, huge, there we go. Lots of blue. Gets us through. So now let's watch this trade. Obviously, we have and the market is thickening up at this point. Looks like I attempt to go for the exit price I put up here at the 180. That is at 13138.75. Why? Because it's a high node. It's a high volume edge that goes into a low noded volume. And I had marked this earlier. You got a lot of liquidity sitting up here. Strength meter is really nice. If you look at the stochastics, they're still pointing up. The 1 is rolling here. So how long am I in here for? I don't know. I don't have my thing. Now you got size coming up above me. So I'm kind of just taking notes on entry because exit isn't like, that's sort of a different thing because I want to identify the setups to take the shot every time, and then I just sort of play it by ear. once I'm in. So this identifying the setup is what the playbook's about. Because, I mean, it could be a perfect setup, but then it fails. So it looks like I'm getting the fill. That was, what, $100? So I'm out. As you can see, there's size above my exit, 322, roughly, right here. Get through there. Really, I could have taken more off the table. Oh, wait, I'm still in the fucking trade. I canceled. Okay. I get out right there. You know, I get out there because we push so hard, and then just that immediate velocity drop is like everybody who went long is getting out, or a few guys. And just like, that's a high volume edge right here. Like, that is a legit cliff. You see how it goes up and then it comes in? That just is definitely reinforced heavily. That was a $100 trade. So what, 8 ticks on that? So I can't. Let's see why I canceled. What did I see in that cancellation? Okay, there it is. So I'm trying to queue out there because I think it's going to stop there. Let's see what happens here. Why do I cancel that? Which was a good play. You can see my mouse is coming up to it. Stalling. Okay, so the bid is good whilst the ask is lower. I'm still in the queue. Sort of a pause stop. Why? And I decided to just cancel it because the bid's in my favor, and it just looks like we're gonna tap into 39 even with this large size. It just feels like it's gonna tap into it, and I'm gonna let it attempt to tap in. So that's why I canceled. We got a lot of blue still. The strength meter. So the strength meter is kind of way up there. If this thing stays up here, the strength meter can go mostly blue, which you would think is good, but it could be absorbing. So I'm covering to get out at 38.50. You can see the mouse there. It's going to test it. See how it tested it? Yep, and that's the thing. It came up, it tested it. I knew it was going to test into this and at least take a hit at it. And it did, and it was a pretty aggressive hit. There was no going into it and then stalling. That was a straight up 58 immediately came into it. So buyers are aggressive at this point. Look at that huge block at 210. Cleaning up. Buyers want it. That's the problem right here. If this is a double layer wall, this is going to be more difficult because it is a dual layer of defense here. You got even more blocks coming in at 105, 191. I know I could see. I'm trying to front run that shit, but it just banged into it and boom. It was worth for me. For me, it just made sense to take it off the table, and I did suffer a trade earlier. If you watch my take a walk video, I talk about how I had a trade that was in my favor, like 87, and then I ended up taking a loss. Look at all that defense. It's just so thick in here. 4 ticks of thickness. Anyways, I didn't want to risk this thing falling in. It just, the way everything's looking doesn't look good, honestly, and it still doesn't look good for a push up. I think there's a push up. But anyways, earlier in the day, I had taken a like a 7-tick winner and turned it into a 6-tick loss, which is very frustrating because I had ample amount of time to get out of it. So I think I was a little shook up on that behalf, and I'm like, you know, this is a good trade. I took a lot of ticks out of it. I'm going to just not be greedy on this. And the way the profile structure is, it just doesn't look good. It's going to get through here. Let's go ahead and watch what happens. So that way, for these types of setups, we can try to get a better... What happened? For these types of for these types of trades, we can figure out, look at all that. See how quite a few contracts are coming at the 139.50 and we're falling in. But the thing is, it's not going to just collapse in. I mean, it could. But this is going to act a little magnetic right here. See, and now I'm not clearing that. Why am I doing that? What the fuck? It's interesting. Maybe that's it. It isn't acting magnetic. It's being capped off. Size is coming in where the size originally was, and it came through a little bit, and then let's see if this 284 cancels. That's profit taking. Yeah, it does. That's profit taking right there. Is what you're seeing in here. It just... I think the exit was fantastic, even though it keeps going. It's going to go back up through here. I just want to know, like, let's see what happens. Does it fall back in? Well, fast forwarding it. Oh, it chops sideways for a while on this high volume edge. So not only do you have the high volume edge, but you got a lot of defense up there. Oh, and it falls back in. So really, taking profits was perfect. I ain't going to nail the top, but I mean, that was good for what it was. And now the market's restored itself to normal thickness. What's going on? So we're just fast forwarding it because I want to see what happens. Yeah, see, then it goes for another push here. Yeah, you got the size sitting here. It's another, like, flip. This is another flip. Setting up. Yeah, just with how that... I mean, this could have easily fell back in, so taking profits was appropriate for what it was. You know? I just want to see this. This is another setup right here. See, I'm now that I've done 2 videos on this playbook play, I'm seeing another one happening right in front of me. This one's a little tougher in the sense that you have these other layers that have been here for a while. Just want to see how this plays out. Looks, this is a second test of this high. So it's like, where does it blow through? I wouldn't resistance flip it until like, it's kind of, it's the play, but it's not, because you have all of this shit. You have several levels of it. The play is when there's just one area where size is. This is like a triple. We're on the edge, too. We're on the edge. The tape looks fantastic. That's a good sign. Did that 400 that was sitting there get... So let's see if this 400 cancels. No, I mean, a little bit does, but that's to be expected. And it's aggressive buying going into it. Very aggressive. It's a high volume edge on the profile. What is that, 307? Oh, that canceled off. Did you see that? Then again, a lot, maybe at icebergs. But look at it, get out of the way. Watch this. Look at it go up. Look at it. See, gone. Like, it went down to like 120, 130 or something. It was in the 300s. What happens here? This thing, such a strong move. I wouldn't really say that's a playbook play. Where does it go? The reason I say that, let me see where this thing goes. Yep. Yeah, it eventually chops up. Yeah, it's really not that good. It just, they're going in there and taking out this liquidity here. And once you get through the third layer, where I would normally consider that a flip, it doesn't go. It falls back in. So this is like some weird liquidity thing that's going on, which is interesting to watch. I mean, it eventually comes back up here where I take another trade. But this isn't a playbook play. So I think that is the end of the video. Let's go ahead and just review this. So I'm going to be taking pictures of the chart and adding it in here, and then I'm going to link the videos. Into it. So what I may do is I may make very short videos to link into it, because I don't want this long fat shit that I'm recording right now in it. What I'm gonna do is take a shorter version of the video of just the play, of just the entry. So that way it's only about 2-3 minutes, and have these setups video linked with some charts, some screenshot charts of the heat map and shit. I'll show you guys in another video. But this is the development of the playbook. Hope you guys are learning something from this, and I hope you're making your own playbook. And then I'll kind of show you this thing as it goes on, as it gets more and more streamlined, because a lot of people want a template. Sometimes you just got to make something from nothing. So, hope you guys enjoyed that.